Sky News host Sophie Ridge locked horns with Work and Pension Secretary Therese Coffey as she questioned Boris Johnson's awareness of allegations against recently suspended MP Chris Pincher. The Sophie Ridge on Sunday presenter repeatedly challenged Ms. Coffey on whether the Prime Minister was aware of claims made against the former Deputy Chief Whip before he was appointed. Ms. Ridge was forced to ask on several occasions if Boris Johnson had been informed of the allegations, with the Work and Pensions Secretary failing to provide her with a straightforward answer. Ms. Coffey insisted the Prime Minister was not aware of any specifics claims before Mr. Pincher was appointed to the senior position. Ms. Ridge questioned the language employed by the Tory frontbencher to outline Mr. Johnson's knowledge of the allegations, saying "I don't understand that sentence," as she asked for clarifications on several occasions during the interview. She then suggested Ms. Coffey think you can wiggle out of it, as she once again challenged the Work and Pensions Secretary to explain clearly how much awareness there was within the party about Mr. Pincher's situation. Ms. Ridge said, "Why don't you ask? I get perhaps it's easier to just to be able to come on these programs and say, look, I don't know, but surely you must ask to try and find out. That's the first thing most people would do." When did the Prime Minister know? So when I am asked this question I can give the answer. Ms. Coffey said she had outlined what happened and reiterated action had been taken against Mr. Pincher. After Ms. Ridge apologized for interrupting her again in a bid to gain clarity from the minister, Ms. Coffey replied, "You don't need to apologize, I'm just going to give you the same answer, Sophie." She then said, "I can't help but think that a lot of people who are listening to this would be frankly feeling you're dancing on the head of a pin by saying specific allegations. That he was aware of general concerns, but because you're saying specific allegations, you think you can just wriggle out of it." The Tory frontbencher hit back at the suggestion, "It's not a case of that. I've said from the very beginning I'm not party to conversations the Prime Minister has on this topic or indeed many other topics. All I know is that once serious allegations have been made, effective action has been taken." The former Deputy Chief Whip offered his resignation on Tuesday after claims emerged suggesting he had groped two men whilst heavily intoxicated. In his letter of resignation, Mr. Pincher admitted he had drunk far too much the prior evening. Ms. Coffey said, "I don't know about any individual conversations. It's been suggested there was a discussion, a referral to pet propriety and ethics, which happens with all ministerial appointments. There's an element of a bit of vetting that goes on, but ultimately the decision is that of the Prime Minister. I'm not part of those individual conversations." Chris had served in government before and had been a minister elsewhere, so I'm not aware that there was anything that was brought to the attention of the Prime Minister to make that change. Mr. Johnson bowed to pressure after a complaint about the MP was made to Parliament's watchdog that examines allegations of bullying, harassment, or sexual misconduct. The Prime Minister had been resisting calls to go further and remove the whip, meaning the Tamworth MP would sit as an independent in the Commons. But on Friday, the action was taken after a formal complaint was made to the Independent Complaints and Grievance Scheme (ICGS).